And, I know that they don't want us to be healthy in America, and I knew this long before the pandemic. All right? Here's how I knew they didn't want us to be healthy in America. Walgreens has a rewards program for their pharmacy. Not the store. The pharmacy has its own separate rewards program. That's hilarious. That means the sicker you are, the more points you earn. Imagine going to the doctor and the doctor's like, all right, I got some good news and I got some bad news. Good news, if you go to Walgreens, you're going to earn so many points. Bad news, you only got 6 to 8 months to use them. Sorry about that. They don't want us to be healthy in America. We have all-you-can-eat buffets. But we don't need all-you-can-eat buffets in America. We need all-you-should-eat buffets. Yeah. You know how that works? You load up your plate, and before you get to sit down, you have to show all the food you had to someone that's in way better shape than you. You just walk up to them, and you're like, huh? And they're like, You're like, okay, I'll try again. 24-hour gyms, that's another scam. That's for people like me that are like, oh, I'm too busy to go to the gym. I got a crazy schedule. Everything's always moving around. And then you join the 24-hour gym. You're like, oh, that's not the problem. It's a motivation issue. Yeah. I had a health scare a couple of years ago. My right eye stopped working for a few minutes. That was terrifying. Lost vision in my right eye for a few minutes. It happened on the air on the Alan Cox show. And at the time, Erica was on the show, and she was talking about her husband losing his job. And she was like crying. She was emotional. It's like, he lost his job. I don't know what we're going to do. And I'm like, hey, you think that's bad? Check this out. Really stole her thunder. It was very funny. And then she asked me, she's like, are you allergic to anything? I'm like, I'm not allergic to seeing. Like, that's not... If someone brings a peanut in the room, I'm not like, where'd you go? So I had to spend the night in the hospital, and when I was in the hospital, they did a bunch of tests. They did like a CAT scan, MRI, EKG, a bunch of blood work. And before they gave me any results back on the test, a nurse came into my room and dropped off a booklet that basically said, this is how you deal with having a stroke. And I was like, hey, did I have a stroke? And she was a good nurse. She's like, And I was like, well, real quick, because I know you're busy, what are the things that cause strokes? And she's like, stress. And I was like, well, you know what I find stressful? Being given literature on having a stroke when you're not sure if I had a stroke. And she goes, whoop, that is stressful. And she left. And I was like, figure out who burnt toast out there. Some of you guys know the signs of a stroke. That's not, somebody actually did burn toast. I'm fine. Turns out the doctor told me it wasn't a stroke. He's told me it's something called an ocular migraine, which I think is just a fancy doctor way of saying, we don't really know what happened, but you should probably use that 24-hour gym membership you have. And I'm going to write you a prescription, and you know what? If you go to Walgreens, so many points!